You are staring at that financed phone in your hand, scrolling through pictures of a life you can't afford. You check your credit score. That little number climbs, and a foolish pride swells in your chest. As a man who survived recessions that would break you, where wealth was built with calloused hands, not digital points, I'm telling you that you would not last a day. That score is not a trophy. It is the length of the chain the system has on your neck, a measure of how good of a pet you are. If you cannot handle the truth, swipe away now. But if you have the guts, listen. The system is designed to be a trap, and you walked right into it with a smile. They've convinced you that the ability to borrow money is a status symbol. They've made you believe that financing a life you can't afford is the American dream. It's not. It's a carefully constructed prison, and your credit score is the number tattooed on your forearm. It's a measure of how much debt you can handle, not how much wealth you possess. The higher the score, the more trusted you are to pay back the interest that builds our skyscrapers and funds our bonuses. You're not a prime customer. You're a prime source of revenue. You've been conditioned to worship the very tool of your own enslavement. Have you ever felt that flicker of pride when a loan officer looks at your file and says, "You've been pre-approved"? Have you ever financed something you didn't need just because the bank told you that you were a good client? If you have, I want you to do something for me. Go to the comments and type one word, all in lowercase. Obedient. Let them see. Let everyone see how deep the programming runs. Let me tell you about a man named Julian. He was my favorite client. Julian was the poster child for the credit score system. Perfect 850. Never missed a payment. He was the kind of man the system was built for. He used that score to get the golden leash. First, it was a sleek European luxury car. The monthly payment was more than most people's rent, but the bank approved it instantly. He had a perfect score, after all. Then came the house, a sprawling thing in a gated community, 5 bedrooms for a family of 3. He didn't have the down payment, but we had a special loan product for excellent clients like him. He furnished it with expensive pieces, all on store credit, of course. Julian looked rich. He talked rich. He hosted parties where his friends envied his success. But he didn't own a single thing. He was a curator of a museum of debt. I remember the day it all came crashing down. The economy took a slight downturn. The company he worked for had a round of layoffs, and his secure job vanished overnight. He came to my office, his face pale, clutching his termination letter. He talked about his perfect score, his loyalty, his history. He thought that number on the screen was a shield. He thought it meant something. I had to look him in the eye and explain that his score was irrelevant now. It measured his past ability to make us money. It was no guarantee of his future. It was a risk assessment tool, and he had just become a bad risk. Within 6 months, the golden leash tightened into a noose. I was the one who had to sign the orders. I signed the repossession order for the European car. It was towed from his driveway in the middle of the night. I signed the foreclosure paperwork on the enormous house. It went to auction for pennies on the dollar. Julian, the man with the perfect credit score, lost everything. He didn't just lose his possessions, he lost his identity. An identity built on the fiction that the bank was his partner. The bank isn't your partner. The bank is the house, and the house always wins. So you want to escape? You want to break free from the matrix. It requires discipline. It requires you to unlearn everything you've been taught. It requires you to follow a protocol. Step 1. Kill the plastic. Open your wallet right now. Take out every single credit card. Look at the logos, the banks that see you as a number on a spreadsheet. Now take a pair of scissors and cut them into pieces. Do it. This is not a metaphor. Destroy them. From this day forward, you operate with what you have. Cash is king. A debit card is a tool. A credit card is a chain. Stop playing their game. Step 2. The zero score freedom. You need to rewire your brain to see a credit score of 0 not as a failure but as a victory. It is the ultimate sign of freedom. It means you are no longer in the system. People of true wealth don't brag about their credit score. They don't even have one. They buy things they can afford. They use cash flow from their businesses to acquire assets. They operate on their own terms, not on the permission granted by a banking algorithm. Let your score wither and die. Celebrate its irrelevance. Step 3. Build assets, not approvals. Stop focusing on raising a meaningless number on a screen and start focusing on increasing the tangible assets in your possession. Instead of seeking approval for another loan, buy a piece of land, even if it's small. Instead of financing a new gadget, buy tools. Instead of chasing status, acquire skills that can't be repossessed. Real wealth isn't in what you can borrow. It's in what you own outright. Your property, your knowledge, your ability to produce value without asking for anyone's permission. Today I told you how a high credit score is just a golden leash. But in the next video, I will show you how the government is using your retirement fund to rob you blind while you sleep. Wake up, kid, and get to work.